Hello and welcome to Musician vs. Musician, a podcast / gig where every week we talk about some kind of music related topic. We have like 3 different versions of this, which I quite like. I quite like the variation.
Yeah, it's all chaos and that's how we work.
Yeah, we sort of went into this year with an idea of exactly what we wanted to do, and then we abandoned it very quickly because
that's the people we are.
We had too many reviews to do, and then we didn't do any of them. We didn't even do the Slipknot one.
I think we did a couple, but not as many as we wanted to because of time.
We did Bring Me the Horizon. We did Korn, and we did Rammstein.
And we did... There was actually... So I had 2 planned that just didn't come out this year in the end, which was where some of them went.
Okay. What were those ones?
I was expecting a Pearl Jam one, which I believe they've pushed because I don't think they want to do it anymore.
Okay.
And they were supposed to do like a Mr. Big, like full remastered best hits sort of thing, where I was going to basically show you, like, not so much an album review as it would be like just a dive through, but I don't think they want to bother after the year they've had the last couple of years, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is valid. It's slightly disappointing though, so there we go.
Yeah, that does suck. But, you know.
Happens. Also, we've both been like busy as balls.
Yeah, it's amazing we've actually managed to get this back onto schedule, to be honest. But
incredible.
Hey, we nailed it. Look at us doing this again.
Functional people.
About 2 days before we need to release it.
Every time.
Yep. Gives me so little time to edit, and the edit is noticeably bad because I just don't have the time to do it well.
Oh well.
We'll live. Incidentally, if you want an update on our viewing figures, we seem to be hitting roughly the same amount of numbers every week, apart from the Slipknot one, which goes up every single week without fail by at least 10.
Like, guys, I know you like Slipknot, but like, can you branch out a little bit?
It's not even one of our better episodes, guys. Go listen to the other Slipknot episode, the history one, where
the history one was chaos, wasn't it?
But at least that was a really intense episode. Yeah. We had so much stuff. The one they listened to, and I'm not blaming you, you keep listening to it if you want to, is the Unsainted versus...
I knew you were going to say that one as well, yeah. I feel like that's got a lot of key words in the title.
Yeah, you know what, it does, yeah. So, well, thank you for listening to it anyway, but you know, treat yourself and listen to something else.
Yeah.
But as long as it's of ours.
I mean, yeah, don't just go away.
Yeah,
we still want you here, and you're valid even if you do want to just listen to that episode on repeat. But you know.
Tell us why.
Yeah.
Because I'm baffled. Maybe it's really good and we just don't give ourselves any credit.
Maybe.
Right, well, this week we've got a comparison versus MVM episode.
Yeah, the ones we used to do at the start of this year.
Yep, which we haven't done very many of. We planned a lot of them and then we got distracted.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh well.
But we got 2 of the most exciting bands currently playing. People seem to really like both of our bands.
Yeah, they're both quite interesting ones, and as I said to you off mic, I'm very unfamiliar with your one this week, so we're going into it like, you know my band, but I don't know yours, so, you know.
But I have also, like, I haven't listened to the band that Claire's going to present.
And I made an effort to pick different songs as well, songs that hopefully you wouldn't expect so much. Not all of them, but
I know the list up front, and you've done a good job of that, because I don't think I've actually listened to any of those more than once.
Yeah!
So, well done. Anyway, let's stop being vague and get into... This week, we are doing Gojira versus Jinjer. The French versus the Ukrainians. That's the battle to the death.
That's going to be World War III.
So not politically relevant. As far as I'm aware, there could be some Ukrainian-French tensions.
Honestly,
I've
really not investigated that because I really didn't think that was the route you were going to take immediately into the content of this podcast.
No, we're all politics all the time on this podcast, apart from when we're just nonsense.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's either hard politics or complete bullshit.
No, you know what? It's just nonsense, and then occasionally one of us will say something distractingly political.
Because we're cunts.
I don't take them out either. I leave these in. If people don't like it, that's fine.
What are they here for if they don't like it?
Exactly. Anyway,
let's go.
Leia's going to tackle Gojira today, and I am going to be presenting Jinjer.
Can I, upfront apologise for everything I say wrong throughout this episode? Because there's going to be a lot.
A lot of French words.
Yeah, even things that look French, I'm a bit knackered. Even if I do know the word, I panic, you know?
That's fair. I cut out the last names of everyone in Jinjer because I was like, I've got a good handle on the first names. I don't want to embarrass the people, in Jinjer by butchering their names.
I'm gonna follow suit with that. That's a good idea.
I think I can get some of the Gojira ones if you go for it.
You're pretty good, but yeah.
I'm okay with French.
Yeah. Right, let's actually start. Do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Ooh. I don't know why, this is weird. So, if you've listened to the last one, you'll know basically all of the first introduction section, and so will you, but I don't care, we're repeating it for everyone else.
Okay.
So they are a French heavy metal band from a place that I can't pronounce.
What? Spell it. Try and pronounce it.
It looks like bayonet without a T.
No. Go for it.
That was my go.
Say it.
No.
Okay.
I'm just
She's
going to say
embarrassed.
bayonet.
Okay.
There we go. Happy? I fucked it up. So I did actually, if you touched this, I completely didn't remember. They were originally called Godzilla.
I did know this, yes.
Completely forgot about that. They formed in 1996, and they later changed their name to Gojira in 2001 due to copyright problems, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, Gojira's a better name anyway.
It is a better name. Much better name. So the lineup consists of a couple of brothers called Joe and Mario, who are lead vocals and drums.
You skipped their last name.
Yeah,
Go on,
100%.
try it. If you show it to me, I can get it.
Duplantier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Also, I think it's quite fun that the drummer does backing vocals, because you don't see that so much because it looks really stupid, but it's really funny.
The past few bands I've played with, every single drummer
It
has
does
done
look funny though, doesn't
backing
it?
or
Main.
the main.
Yeah.
It's strange.
It does look funny though, doesn't it? Especially when they've got to do that like really bolt upright drumming
Yeah.
with like, or if they've got a microphone that's on a stand, not on their head, and they've
God.
got to like weirdly stick to it. It's really funny.
It's cool though. It's
Yeah,
very impressive.
I should clarify that that's not a criticism. I think it's funny in a good way. I'm on board with you. We're pals.
I think singing whilst drumming might be the most difficult.
It's such a bizarre combination. Like I've tried on my own for giggles purposes to sing along, and it's so hard.
Oh goodness.
They also have guitarists and bassists called Christian and Jean-Michel, probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty good, yeah.
yeah, they've had the same lineup since they started, which is nice.
That's
or since
very
the name
cool.
changed, certainly, which is 2001, which is a while.
Yeah.
Impressive. They've had 6 studio albums and 3 live DVDs, and they're known for very environmentally themed lyrics, which is cool, I think, anyway. They've been nominated for a few awards. They've received Grammy nominations for Best Rock Album for Magma and Best Metal Performance for the single Silvera. Silvera?
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
I've got all the names of the albums here. To be honest, I don't think we're that bothered.
Just throw them out there. Throw the big ones out there. From Mars to Sirius is my favourite.
Yeah. Magma was obviously the one they were sent award.
Les Enfants Sauvages.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. I was like, I know that's an important one, and you know what? I'm not even going to try.
Yeah,
I was just going to leave it out. So thank you.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Those are probably the big hitters.
Yeah, those
overall.
3 are the huge ones.
Frustratingly, I know them more by the art, which is very me.
Oh my goodness, the From Mars to Sirius art is beautiful. The Magma one is weird but good, very memorable. And Les Enfants Sauvages is a tree? Is it a tree?
I'm not 100% with that one.
I'm pretty sure it's a tree.
So they're very genre hybrid, which is fun in a lot of ways.
That's something our bands have in common.
Yeah, I think that's what inspired us to put these together, and is they genre hybrid in a similar way. So they combine elements of death metal, groove metal, thrash metal, and progressive metal, as well as having very intense themes such as life, death, rebirth, spirituality, and nature. Some of this inspiration comes from where they're from, on the southwest coast of France, because I didn't want to put the name in again. Surrounded by countryside which inspired their interest in nature. Following this, they cooperate with the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society to protect marine animals, particularly dolphins, whales, and sharks, which I think is really cool, and I didn't know that until this, so now you know as well.
Bunch of hippies.
They are a bunch of hippies, and they also, I had no idea, they work with a lot of other large musicians. They're sort of like, they got other people into supporting that charity specifically, so they're sort of like the in-between person for that for other bands or people such as Devin Townsend, who is obviously very famous and cool. It's, very cool in general. I'm on board. Conservationists, environmentalists, basically hippie as fuck, and I'm on board.
That's cool.
Wanna pitch me some Jinjer?
Jinjer, their band history is a little difficult to find, and finding accounts of their past is a bit difficult because Tatiana, the singer, since 2010, she is actually a refugee, and she channels a lot of her frustration and feelings into the music, which is probably pretty apparent from...
That is actually very interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, their band history is a little difficult to find. Even Wikipedia was absolutely useless. So I just went on their page. I'm going to read some from their page. This is me quoting. In less than 10 years, the four-piece progressive groove metal wrecking machine known as Jinjer have carved their very own place in the heavy metal landscape and are poised to go even further. I mean, that's just hype. That's you can probably ignore that section. Hailing from Donetsk.
Looking at how that's written, that was pretty good.
That's all right?
Better than I would have done.
I mean, we don't know Ukrainian, so...
I mean, I haven't heard them yet, but,
yeah.
you know.
This Ukrainian musical oddity formed in 2009, but they had a different vocalist. Tatiana, last name unpronounceable by me, I'm going to give it a go. Shmailyuk.
I respect your efforts, but I think you're wrong.
Yeah, that's not
I
good.
don't know how you're wrong, but I think you're probably wrong.
Yeah, I'm definitely wrong. We're not good here.
I mean, we're from the UK, what do you expect? Like?
Yeah. So the band laboured intensively, honed their sound in practice, and got big, but only about this year.
Yeah, I'd not really heard of them until coming this year, and then this year it was like, I cannot look anywhere without seeing them.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I mean, so they released Inhale Don't Breathe, their first album in 2012. They were nominated and won Best Ukrainian Metal Band the next year.
It's a touch of an obscure title,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's very, very
it's
specific.
It's a title, nonetheless.
And then they signed with Napalm Records in 2015.
Nice.
And released their third album, King of Everything, which is the album that got them notoriety, because it had Pisces on it. And Pisces kind of just destroyed the internet. And
did it?
Yeah, it kind of just killed the internet, and that's where they really started to get huge.
I mean, that's how you do it these days, isn't it? Is blow up online.
Yep, you need that one big hit, and then you probably need to do other songs as well.
I mean, you need to keep going. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to lose your traction pretty quickly. This isn't the X Factor, but you know.
God, yeah. So yeah, they kept going, pushing themselves. They released the Micro EP, and then like a month ago they released Macro. So within 1 year they
they've
released
done Micro and Macro. Oh,
Yeah.
That's funny.
They released Micro at the start of this year, January 11th, and then the end of this year they've released Macro, and it's pretty cool. So the members are as follows: Tatiana on vocals, Roman on guitars, Eugene on bass, and Vladislav on drums. I left him till last because...
Was that the most ambitious first game?
Also, he's the newest member. He joined in 2016.
Oh, well, that is quite new then. Good for him to pick on, like, to get involved, like, basically just before they blow up.
Yeah, I mean, they've had 4 drummers, and they used to have a rhythm guitarist from 2009 to 2015.
Are they having a bit of a, what am I after, spinal tap
Yes,
situation?
exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Jinjer are pretty interesting. We'll get into why I like them specifically in the technical talent section, because it lends itself quite well. They're really interesting songwriters, not just...
Yeah, I think we're going to end up having... because I don't know about you, but I've definitely got one section that's considerably weaker than the other two. And it's going to be, I'd imagine, probably the same thing, because they're very similar bands.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's right. But what are we starting with, Leia?
We are starting with live performance section.
Okay, so to start with the live performance section, I am going to put forward Perennial, obviously by Jinjer. And what are you throwing out there?
I'm throwing out The Gift of Guilt.
Okay, well, let's rejoin you listening people. I mean, you don't have a name, so...
Maybe we should come up with one.
No, I
It'd just be
refuse.
tragic, though.
For my band, I've decided to call people the Ohm Tones, so...
That's really good.
Pretty good, right?
For people that don't know, Matt's band is called Omen Machine, so
Yeah.
that is why it's called Ohm Tones.
I don't like bringing it up on this, but...
I know you don't like to, however, it's necessary context for that, because otherwise people are going to be like, that's the most random thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Right, so anyway, here we go with, first of all...
The Gift of Guilt.
And then Perennial. So what do you think? Gun to your head.
Ooh, that was pretty tight, actually. I think
Yeah.
I was definitely right with the whole. They're pretty similar, and probably
Yes.
the weakest for certainly that was my weakest one, was live performances.
Yes, and that's not to be confused with us saying that the live performances are bad.
No, it's to say that they're not particularly overwhelming or energetic, as you don't tend to see that with progressive type bands.
You know what?
just
We
don't.
should probably make a distinction here that I'm going to call a gig versus a show. So a show would be, let's say, a Rammstein-esque or
Yeah.
Slipknot performance.
Or you've just got a lot going on. There's
It's
like
clearly
a
choreographed.
big budget. There's things going on like fire, things that spin. Like
Versus these guys, Jinjer and Gojira, who both could very easily play small venues if they wanted to.
yes, they could.
Because,
Yes.
they've got that kind of vibe. They're very clearly bands, not necessarily performers. Was that
I know
wrong
what
of
you
me
mean.
to say?
No, I think I would agree with you there. I mean, other people might not, but I would agree with you there.
Hey, if you disagree, tell me. I'm very happy to be proven wrong.
Again, we're always up for a debate.
I also have not seen either of these bands live in real life, which
Okay.
I would like to see Jinjer potentially more, but here's why. I like the variation in the female vocalist in Tatiana's vocals. I like that she can go clean and sound like a female singer. You know I love female singers. And then she can shift and she sounds like the Cookie Monster destroying
To be
everyone.
fair, I will say the contrast is impressive. Not my kind of thing, but it's very impressive, and I wouldn't argue with that.
But it is Joe. Joe's the singer of Gojira, right?
I'll double check, but I
Is
think
it Joe
so. Yeah.
Duplantier? Yeah. He can also do both clean and distorted vocals.
Yes, it is Joe.
Yeah. He'll also do that. But the way Gojira tend to mix their stuff, he tends to be quite low in the mix, and I don't think people are as fond of his clean vocals.
No, I would agree with you there. It's I would say that Jinjer is a lot more vocal focused
Yes.
than Gojira is.
Yeah, and that's not a comment on quality.
No, it's not. Particularly in and to see a band that's less focused on vocals in a progressive genre is also not surprising.
Yeah.
Like neither of these bands, given that they're so genre hybrid, are not shocking.
No.
You know.
So, I have written in my notes here that I think it's both a pro and a con for the live performance that the performance revolves around the singer. Because it obviously does in Jinjer. She is very clearly, she's literally, in the video that I just put on, she's literally wearing the most eye-catching outfit in the universe.
Yeah, it's like a gold, sparkly gold glitter jumpsuit. And I think, like I said to Matt off mic, if they had the house lights on her because it was nighttime, you wouldn't be able to see anything else because she'd be blinding. It's really intense.
I do think, and again, not quality, I'm just saying, factually, I think the focus, or opinion, subjectively, I think the focus of Jinjer is on her.
Without doubt, yeah.
All the musicians are good, though. Actually, if you can tell me anything, we'll get into the technical section, actually.
Yeah, we'll touch that later on.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, so my kind of feeling overall is that if you're going to talk backing members, I think Gojira have got the edge. The drummer is so interesting to watch. The bassist is so interesting to watch, but Jinjer, they obviously have the advantage of the singer.
Tatiana is able to move a lot more.
She's just a singer. She's not got a guitar, so she's got that freedom.
And we spoke about this off mic, but should we naturally give more points to her for simply being able to move, or do we try and mark them more fairly and say that what Gojira are doing whilst not being able to move is more impressive?
I would say slightly different to that, which is how well do they utilize having the ability to move. And she's not the most intense to watch.
It's true.
She is, obviously she's visually interesting, but she's not exactly bouncing around the stage. Granted, it's not really the music for it.
No.
I would say the reason that Jinjer has the edge is what's going on in the crowd. The crowd was significantly more active. They panned around to circle pits and there's a lot going on, and it could be down to the venue.
It also could be down to the fact that groove and doom don't tend to inspire the same kind of reaction.
It is complicated.
Where are you leaning?
I'm leaning Jinjer for this one.
Okay. I was gonna lean towards Gojira.
I mean, this is the problem.
Yeah.
They're both very similar bands, and we're pretty
we both
passive
lent
about
to the
this.
other ones. Why don't we call it? You know what? We have to be honest with this. We'll just call it equal for that
we'll
one.
Split the difference.
Yeah, that's a sequel. I think it's very big of us. Pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah, we're so grown up. We both voted for the other person's one, like adults.
All right. Well, we are on to the technical section. No, we're not. We're on to ironic versus unironic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Ironic versus unironic enjoyment, the most difficult to define section that we for some reason keep in here.
I think the reason we keep it is so that we've got like a wild card if we want it. Like
Yeah.
if they do, like for example, when we did like funny bands like Beastie Boys, it
That's
was
true.
100% necessary to have a section like this where
Yeah.
it's a wild card, you know?
Okay.
Was yours a standout for this one?
Let's just put them on. Let's just...
Yeah, okay. We'll
let
jump straight into
I'll
it
let
and
you
come back.
decide.
Okay.
So, what do you got for us?
I will be showing Flying Whales.
Okay. And I will be showing On the Top.
It's a really anticlimactic song name.
Well, it's... I can get into the meaning behind it, but after we've listened to it.
Yeah, sure. It's just maybe giggle. It's
Okay.
just like,
Flying
that's
Flying Whales versus On the Top. Okay, those were the two songs that we just listened to. How did you like them? Like and comment, subscribe. I just thought I'd turn into a YouTuber for a minute there.
Did you have an outburst?
Yeah.
Do we need to like put you down now?
Yeah. Yeah, I've become a YouTuber, so just get rid of me. It's time to retire.
I'll get someone else to do it with me. It doesn't matter.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't got strong leanings to either band for this one.
God damn it, me either.
I know. I figured we were going to... Like, they're just quite similar.
They're both good.
So I think we've tried to illustrate pretty much the same points with this one, which is that they're very pure and passionate, and it's not a joke. Like,
No.
it's very... What was the word you used?
Sincere.
That's the one. Yes, a grown-up word. That one. Like, yeah, they're very... I don't know. I like the whale sounds. That's why I like the Gojira one, to be perfectly upfront.
Yeah, I love Flying Whales. On the Top is about... The key lyric here being, is it lonely on the top? Is I quite like Jinjer because they delve into writing topics that aren't necessarily always literal and aren't easy to understand. On the Top is about the psychological interpersonal consequences of neurotically motivated ambition, which is kind of, difficult to wrap your head around. It's not necessarily straightforward. Like, spoilers for my band, nobody cares. It's I'm working on a song at the moment which is called The Mirror, and it is about how difficult it has been for me to construct my own identity. It's something that I've struggled with when I was growing up a lot, and now that I have constructed an identity and I am sort of a person, I guess, do I like that person is sort of what I asked myself in the song. So it's and I think that that's more difficult to wrap your head around than the normal kind of, I don't know,
yeah, no, I know. I can hear what you're saying.
Sad,
Yeah, is that particularly in metal, we kind of, despite being, the idea being sort of defying the normal, like we've kind of pigeonholed ourselves into this sort of lyrical place of angry, and just that is not always enough. And granted, I'm really not a lyrically focused person. In fact, I had no idea what Flying Whales was about until I googled it right now.
I mean, I think I know what it's about, but you tell me.
It's, to be honest, there's not like loads on it. There's like ideas of the whales being truly separate from people, but it's connected to the whole the roots in global warming and climate issues and things like that are obviously connected, but it's just sort of
typical Gojira stuff.
It's somewhere between that and like the plot of The Matrix, like you know what I mean, where it's like humans are germs, that kind of idea. Like It's, not... Again, it's different than what you see
Leia's
in now,
saying
but also
is-
not as in-depth, I would argue.
What Leia's saying is that Gojira are Agent Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 100% they are Agent Smith. And they're all Agent Smith as well. They should... I don't know, they could probably rock that.
Yeah. Sunglasses and a suit.
See, I've seen bands play in sunglasses in a suit, and it really doesn't look like Agent Smith. It looks...
Like Blues Brothers.
Yeah, it does. So that might not get them what they want, but,
Yeah, so my favourite bands, not necessarily all of them, some of them, a few of them, do things like this, trying to delve into more difficult to comprehend song lyrics. I have this concept that I'm struggling with as I write the song, which is that my aim is to both seem intellectual, well-informed, a good songwriter, but also be easily understood, and how difficult it is to marry those things together.
Yeah, I can completely see that.
And I'm sure the same thing happens for, I was going to say real musicians, because I don't want to diss any of the lyricists, but lyrics aren't necessarily music, so, I'll define the two apart.
Yeah, I mean, complicated.
Yeah, so musicians, I'm sure, have the same problem where it's like, you want to write these incredible works of art, but you also do want to be liked, so...
Yeah, is that you can be, if you're going to be the most technical band ever, you're probably not going to be accessible.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of how it is.
But then there are bands that prove us wrong, like Periphery are incredibly technical, and yet they have a huge following now, so...
Yeah, there's bands that...
Defy.
Yeah, and they surpass that expectation, but they're still... they're never going to be Metallica, are they? And that, don't get me wrong, that is not the benchmark for success. And I don't want people to feel, in general, that the benchmark for success is headlining download, because that's not what that means.
Yeah. Also,
as we've covered about 1 million times before, yes, we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's interesting that, obviously you've chosen one that was very lyrically apt to you, and I accidentally chose one that was very lyrically apt to me because I like the whale sounds.
Whale sounds are good.
But I'm also incredibly passionate about global warming.
Yes.
You will probably know. Other people maybe not so much, but...
So, we got to pick a winner for this round.
I feel like everyone's going to hate us after this episode.
Why?
Because we're both pretty passive about this from what I gather.
Well, we both like them both.
Yeah.
That's a good way to be passive. At least it's not.
Oh, yeah, it's not like,
care.
I don't care about either one. Yeah.
Go on, say first name that comes to your head.
I truly am neutral on this.
Okay. Alright, well, let's be honest with ourselves then, because I can't pick one either, so let's just say right in the middle.
We fucking
both of them
suck.
again. Alright.
We have to pick one this time, otherwise we're going to match the entire way through, and I'll try not to destroy the microphone in the process.
Okay. The sound that you did that last week, and
did I?
I did manage to fix the sound at the time.
There we go. No one needs to know.
Okay.
I suck.
So that's 2-all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Or 0-all? I don't know how we calculate this.
I mean, 2-all is as good as 0-all,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, let's say
guess,
0-all.
I mean, it's positive reasons, so maybe it's 2-all this time, and if it's for negative reasons, we'll do 0.
Yeah, okay. All
because
right.
I don't want them to feel like they all have 1 point at the end.
That's true. Okay, so the next section is technical skill. What song have you picked for this?
I have picked The Art of Dying.
Now, I've been very brave, and I've picked one that I thought maybe has quite an interesting rhythmic difference.
I see.
So, if I'm wrong, I've shot myself in the foot. But I wanted to try.
I respect the effort, because, to be fair, I didn't even think about how complicated the vocals are, because I have literally no idea. So
There you go. I am genuinely trying to understand rhythm, even if I'm starting from a basis of nothing, and nobody will teach me. So,
hey, I try. It's just an uphill battle.
Yeah, I'm just very dumb.
Yeah, you're a hell of a lot better than you were 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's something. Okay, so your pick is
The Art of Dying.
The Art of Dying, and mine is Judgment, parentheses, and Punishment, close parentheses. So let's start things off with Gojira and then go into Jinjer. Here we go. Those the two songs that we just listened to. I say that because sometimes I just can't remember the names.
I had always assumed that was what it was, because let's be honest, because you tend to play the one I pitch first.
Yeah.
By the time I've listened to your one, I have no idea what I pitched
Yeah,
to you.
exactly. What was it? What was the one you put on?
I think Art of Dying, but I'll double check
Yes, that's
that.
it. That's
I
definitely
know it was on the list.
It was Art of Dying. And I put on Judgment and Punishment. And let's recount the other songs, see if we can get them all. Flying Whales.
You can't do my ones. That's
I
bullshit.
can do your one. You can do mine. Perennial. What was the other one? On the Top.
How are you? You're doing well. I'm fucking.
You've got one.
It's
You've got to get one.
Like something to do with grief. I don't know. I don't know. That was too long ago. That was a whole 6 minutes ago.
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know what you put on.
Oh, am I not allowed to look at it now?
I guess you could.
What did I say I had in it?
Grief.
That wasn't too bad. It's Gift of Guilt.
So, very close.
I knew there were G's in it. That's as good as it got.
Very close. Okay, so what do you think?
That was probably my favourite of both bands. Of all the ones we've listened to today, obviously I've not listened to Jinjer's back catalogue, nor have I listened to everything that Gojira have made, but you know.
You probably listened to more Gojira, considering we did an episode on them.
Easily more Gojira, because I obviously had to do some work for this.
Yeah.
I didn't just pick top 3 off a list or something, because that would be far too easy. Right. So, there's kind of quite a lot to get into with this one, surprisingly.
Yes, do you want to
go? Yours is probably easier to start with, because yours has the very separate sections.
Yes, my song, I think, roughly you could say, is made of 3 sections. The reggae beats, the death metal middle bit, which leads into quite a rock chorus.
Yeah, it's like the instruments are still pretty much the same as the death metal part, but the vocals change quite aggressively.
Yeah.
And
it's a catchy chorus, which makes me think rock more than metal. Sorry, metal. But that's where rock. Oh, that's where the catchy choruses come from.
That is how it is, though, isn't it? Is that you get the whole like anthem stuff, which I'm not always a fan of, but you know.
You liked this one.
I did. It was alright. So again, I wasn't so fussy on the chorus part, but I just you pointed out the face I pulled at you when they went into the like reggae bit, because I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I really didn't think that was coming, because when you said that this was maybe a little bit of a risky choice, I was like, that normally means you've picked something dumb, or something that you like, not something that's very unique.
Yeah, and it turns out I picked both. It is unique, but it is also something I like.
And it has a dumb video, so we're 3 for 3.
Yeah.
So it's that complicated in that way then, but instrumentally it's not particularly complicated at all.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
I don't know about the vocals, but the instruments are very repetitive, and they have their separate sections, but they're playing the same thing throughout each section, and it's not complicated. It's just, it is, you know?
So I do think that there's a skill to Tatiana writing the vocals over these 3 different sections.
And to have made them so seamless is impressive. That's the thing that's getting me, really, the transitions work incredibly well, which is very hard to do for that kind of thing, and it's impressive.
And more generally speaking, I like Jinjer because they are a bit more existential and a bit more technical with their songwriting. Metal Injection wrote that Jinjer are best considered composers rather than songwriters, because they place the tiniest details under a microscope and tweak them until everything flows perfectly.
See, that doesn't surprise me, because the flow is impressive.
Exactly.
Like, even though the writing isn't that impressive, the flow is. Because throughout, I've seen the musicians, they're obviously nothing to be sniffed at, and it's very good in the grand scheme of metal. It's very technical, but in the genre they're in, they're not particularly technical for a technical band. If, you know, you kind of get where I'm going with that.
Yeah, I get you.
Like,
Tool,
obviously,
they're not trying to be.
Exactly, yeah. They're like, it's impressive, but none of the musicians I'm looking at and I'm like, holy fuck, you're a god. Like,
whereas I would say that Gojira has that one member, Mario, who...
Oh, he'd fucking... Oh, my lord.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I mentioned on mic earlier, but he actually won in 2017 just best drummer. Like, not even best drummer in metal or best drummer in rock or best drummer on this album or whatever. Just best drummer, that was the title. Yeah. And you know what? He deserves it this year and every other year that has ever been, because he's incredible.
Imagine if you won best drummer on this album. Just like the ultimate backhanded compliment. Just like, but I'm the only drummer on this album.
Hey, You know in metal there's 400 different fucking drummers. I mean, everyone's Spinal Tap, really.
That's true.
Like, look at Slipknot. Can you imagine if they gave it to, like, Sean or something? Best drummer on this album. Joey's replacement, whose name I always forget. Sorry, you just, I don't know. You just fucking kill him.
Is he Alejandro? Is that?
Oh, don't.
Is that the drummer who replaced?
I got no idea. I mean,
I can't remember if that's the bassist or not.
I have no idea. I mean, there's too many members. I don't fucking know. Too many musicians. I try my best, but yeah, I mean, the musicians in general in Gojira will fuck you up. But,
yeah, definitely.
Oh my lord, Mario's good. Like, so hard that I wouldn't even know where to start in breaking it down. Like, wow.
So I think for technical talent here,
this is hard. Like, I thought I had this one, and you really pulled one out that I was surprised by, to be honest.
See, that's the thing. Gojira are technical, and the band is, the point of it is sort of to show off how technically good they are, right?
To a point, yeah.
Like,
I think in progressive bands at all, that's kind of what you're here. That's what they're there for, you know.
Yeah. Whereas Jinjer, I would argue, are a bit more of a performance-based.
Yeah, they're very. Yeah, I know.
It's almost got that rock band vibe to it, where it's kind of the hype and the performance, and you wanting to connect to the people. Whereas Gojira are a bit more of like,
this is just what we're doing. You can get on board with it, or you cannot. You know.
Yeah. Which is probably because they're French. They are very. It's a very French attitude. Look, we're just going to do our thing.
Yeah, you've missed all the off mic parts where Matt's only talking in a French accent. Like,
I don't know. This is the French. I think it's just a bit of a stereotype that they're quite cool and like in a disconnected way. They're just like.
And to be honest, in this instance, it feels quite true, and it's also very commendable.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much a good thing. Like, oh, fucking hell.
Who are you leaning towards?
You made this really hard.
I know I did. But I had to pick the song.
So if we're going to go raw technical... Oh, fucking hell. Right. I've got a question first, and when you answer that, you can tell me. So when they do the endless tweaking on the songs, who is doing that?
What do you mean?
Like, is it the singer or the producer, or is it the whole band?
It's the whole band.
Okay. So that...
They've been quite open about how they have control of the music.
Yeah, see, that's hard. Because if you'd said it was just the singer or just the producer, I'd be like, nah, I don't think we got that.
Tatiana is as involved as the rest of the members of the band with the flow. Just judging from interviews, this isn't truth.
This isn't.
This is based on
fact. This is
on who talks in the interviews about certain things. I've watched a lot of their interviews in research for this, and the guitarists just talk. They know what they're doing.
That doesn't surprise me, particularly as it seemed. Didn't you say that she joined a bit later than everyone else?
Only a year.
I mean, there's still, while she's still the late joiner, if you know what I mean. You kind of carry that with you.
Drummer. The drummer is.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, does the drummer say shit?
Actually, no. I haven't heard him speak.
There we go then. Oh god, I really wanted to have a strong opinion about this, but you fucked me over. Shit. I don't know. Are you got any leanings?
I prefer one of the songs, but I think the other one is more technical. So, again, I think I lean towards Gojira.
I probably on the basis that they are generally more technical, because I would probably also say Gojira for it, but this is really hard.
I'm gonna put my foot down and say that it has to be Gojira because they are literally showing off their skill more. And I'm not saying that's good or bad.
It just is.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what the songs are doing. They are showing off a lot of fucking skill.
Look how good we are at this, and everyone goes, fuck me, you're incredible, because they are. So.
And compare that to Jinjer, who I think are writing. They're not. Okay, so everyone's going to hate me. It's sort of pop metal.
I can see what you're saying.
Not saying that pop is bad. I'm the guy who likes pop.
I feel like pop becomes like a swear word when you're in metal. It just means popular, tends to mean catchy, tends to mean... It has these factors that
it's super easy to like Jinjer, whereas I have to put in a bit more effort to listen to Gojira. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it requires more mental effort.
Mm-hmm. So, I am going to give the edge to Gojira, but let's see about Legacy, and let's see if we can round it off to a nice even.
I think we're
no points on either.
I think that's where we're going to end up. But
Yeah.
There we go.
Go on, let's. I haven't
pitch
got
to
a
me?
song for.
Neither have
Yes.
I. I've just come with a chat on what I think.
Yeah. You did go first to start off with this, so you should probably sum up first.
So, I just think at this stage, like, Gojira have done a lot and they've made a lot of pathway in a relatively small time. I would argue that of all the bands that have sort of come and gone of recent years, like, I really do think Gojira could be up there with the next big things. Like, they've come so far, so fast. And granted, they've put in the groundwork, but still, I'm very impressed by what they've done and how they've changed the scene a bit. However, fully, honestly, I think Jinjer are going to be fucking huge. I really do.
See, I was going to... I'm glad you said it. It's quite nice that we can come to this together because... And it is literally just because of personality and...
The way they write their choruses, as you say, they're catchy. People
Yeah.
like that. Like, I do think Jinjer are going to be...
Also, Tatiana is a very eye-catching female singer with a lot of style.
Yeah,
Which-
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which... And here's the thing. It's personality.
yeah.
The
She
le-
feels very... yeah,
She's that lead singer type.
she is. Yeah.
Joe Duplantier is not the lead singer type. They're more of a tool, if you will.
They're all cogs in the band.
Yeah.
Whereas she's kind of stepping forward with the band as a background, which, like, as a drummer, I'm kind of like...
Well, see, this was why I didn't think I was going to win any points with you in the live performance for that. Because of, we both agree that it shouldn't just all be about the singer all the time.
Yeah, it's
But
just...
it is the kind of thing that grabs people's attention.
I truly think that they could be the next, the next band to say first headline download on stuff, because they've got this endless cycle of band after band that they have every single fucking year. Like, they've got a list of 8 bands that are approved and they go, we'll have this one, and this one this year, even though they played 2 years ago, I really do think they're going to be fucking enormous. Like,
I also, and she's a woman in metal doing the screaming thing, and I think that is gonna help a lot of women get into the scene.
on about that, do you know what I fucking love as well? They're not a female-fronted band. I've never heard that in connection to Jinjer. In fact, I've heard the name Jinjer so many times in the last couple of weeks, and I've been actively trying to avoid them. Not once did anyone tell me that she had a female singer. Not once have I heard them billed as female-fronted or anything like that, because it's bullshit and I don't like it. I didn't know, and it doesn't matter. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of her voice, but I know that it's personal, not technical.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so fussy when it comes to singers. Like, and having a singer that I'm not fussy on in a band doesn't bother me, because it happens so often that if I only listened to bands that I was amazed with the singer, I'd listen to, like, 4 bands. 2 of them would be yours, to be honest. Like, and that's a really small amount of bands that I don't want to do. So, I just, I'm very impressed in general. And I like that it's not fixated on her all the time, and about her being a woman, and it's like, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Okay. So, are we given a point, the famous legacy point to Jinjer? Which would brings us to a nice 3-all.
Yeah, it's not even that they have the legacy now. It's that I truly think they go into.
Yeah, I think if they continue on this,
They're
I
just
think
more
her name's
accessible.
going to go down in the same way that we think of Amy Lee, Lizzie Hale.
I think she's going to be... Honestly, I'd say give her a year and she'll be bigger than Lizzie Hale. Honestly.
You think? Hale's still not big.
They're big, but then not as big as you seem to think they
Well,
are.
they're playing Motorpoint. That's big.
That is big. But
They've
also...
sold out Motorpoint.
Yeah, but like... Granted, it's harder with male singers because there's just a lot more of them. Like, you see a lot more male singers in metal, so saying, like, a male singer's name doesn't really have the same impact.
Unless you're Corey Taylor.
Yeah, unless it's Corey Taylor. But if you think, like, for example, Limp Bizkit play the Motorpoint.
Really?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit headline the Motorpoint. Korn play the Motorpoint. Like, so many bands that are not that's enormous. Fair. Like,
yeah, Korn are huge.
Korn are huge, but also, like, there's a massive list of bands that play Motorpoint.
I think maybe your standards are too high, but
Possibly.
maybe my standards are too low.
I'm not saying that they're a small band. I'm just saying that I think Jinjer are going to be fucking astronomical for a metal band.
Yeah,
like,
I think they will. I think they'll take the world by storm. I'm going to give them some credit here. you gotta admit it's because the catchy choruses, because those pop choruses, man.
Yeah.
No, and they don't all have choruses like that as well. They got variation.
Yeah, like, honestly, I'm not overly enamored with either of these bands. Like, I'm not amazed with either. I find both of them to be a little bit of work to listen to, which is not always my favourite thing. But I can really see what they're doing, and I'm on board with it. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That brings us to the end of the episode. Actually, it doesn't, because we have another section that we do.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
We'll do it fairly quickly, but I've got the band ready for this week.
Oh,
so you
thank
don't
fuck
have
for
to
that,
worry about
because I didn't.
So we're going to listen to a band called... Oh, wait, no. Introduce the segment, Leia. Do you remember its name?
From Underground of the Underground? Something like that, because I don't think that actually makes...
From under the ground... No, from the
from
underground...
From
under the underground comes the underground? That's it.
I think you've changed it
No,
every
that's
time
it.
we've done it, in
That's
all fairness.
definitely
That's
it.
what we're rolling with now, but I'm pretty sure you've changed it every time.
So, the band we're going to talk about today is, full disclosure, a band I played with not long ago, and they kind of blew me away, so I wanted to talk about them. They don't fit the number of follows or likes that we usually adhere to for this section.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's fairly flexible anyway. That's normally the threshold for us to pick them, but if they ask us, we'll
Exactly.
chill with
I mean,
anything.
these guys didn't. I just wanted to talk about them. Much like Furion a couple weeks ago, I really like these guys. I even bought a T-shirt, which for me is a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah. So I like them, I get on with them, and I messaged them asking for their band history, and they didn't have a long band history, so...
Most small bands don't, we're discovering, so we'll just get straight
Compare that
to
to
the music.
me, who can literally... I could spin 2 pages of band
In all
history.
fairness, we did have a very dramatic...
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't exactly my entry, and let's be real, like, I've got a hell of a fucking,
Yeah, I mean, I could
Maybe
talk
it's
for it.
just us.
We are just...
We're just dickheads.
Oops.
Have you lost it?
No, I just liked my own post in this fucking chat, and it's made me look like a maniac, so...
You are a maniac.
Alright, so, the band formed in September 2018.
Oh, they really knew them.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't think they'd be that new.
They released This Cage I Built Myself. They had a new EP, Harrow, released in February 2019. And their new single, which we're going to listen to, Bluebells, was released a couple weeks back.
Oh, that's cute.
They got Adam Ragozzi on screams, vocals.
That's a cool name.
John Joe Williams, guitar. Rich Lester, guitar. Freddie Watmore, bass and backing vocals. And Mike Hayden, drums / musical vocals. I don't know.
Backing vocal? What are you illustrating?
One of them does screams, the other one does sing. So
Which one is which?
Adam is the screamer, Mike is the singer.
Would you argue? So we're up for a kind of Linkin Park-esque two vocalists kind of having the same level of input?
Yeah,
or like,
yeah, but no rapping, obviously.
I mean, that would be, you know what I mean.
Yeah, so let's listen to Bluebells and see what everyone thinks. Okay, so that was Bluebells by Lastel. A deeply emotional track. Now, these guys introduced themselves on stage by shouting at people. Hello, everyone. We are a bunch of beta cuck soy boys.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I actually do love that.
Absolutely terrific fellows.
I'd love to come and watch them now.
Yeah.
Just for that, if nothing else. I'd love to
Just-
support them again.
So, Leia, what music do I love? What do I say all the time that a music has to do to make me love it?
You like anything, really, that could come under the category emo as fuck.
Because I like to feel
Emotional.
feelings. Yes.
Yeah, you like to have you like being poked in the feels.
Exactly.
That's what you like.
That's what I like. Don't care if you got the best technical skill in the world if it's just a guitar playing over some cool drum beats. I want me some feels.
Mm.
Now, it could be a really emotional guitar playing over some really emotional drum beats.
And it
that,
might.
for me, that would work better. just for me personally. And this band accomplishes that for me. I really, really, really enjoy their sound. They don't call themselves a metal band. They call themselves a post-hardcore band, which is more accurate. I would probably argue there's definitely some metalcore influences in there.
Yeah, I would also say that they're not strictly a metal band.
No.
Like, I don't know, it's the feel. It's not even so much what's going on, it's the feelings behind it. Yeah, very of that caliber. Like,
they got those synths in the back.
I didn't actually pay much attention to the synths.
Oh, they got some synths. When we were on stage, or when we were playing with them, my band was the only band to not have, like, a computer
of
with
some variety.
Yeah, so we felt
or,
very like inadequate compared to everyone else's professionalism. But I really like these guys. I really like the power and raw emotion that they have.
Yeah, I can definitely see why you like them.
Yeah. What do you think of the mix?
So, the mix was not 100% what I expected. Like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more even then. I thought maybe the rhythm section was a bit low.
Mm-hmm.
It might just be a bit low for my tastes because, again, this is more of your field of music things where it's very vocal focused, very emotional. We've got that guitar line that's meant to be pulling all the strings, and it's like, it's cool. I totally see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not where my interest tends to lie so much, so I'm not so familiar with it.
You don't have to defend it as well. It's okay. Your opinions are valid.
Thank you.
I give you that permission.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's really weird.
This is a joke, by the way.
Everything's a joke. Have you met me?
No, actually, you live behind that wall.
Yeah.
We've never met. I just
We've still
found
got
you.
the letterbox. I mean,
Well, it's not a letter. It's just a little
no, I
circle.
describe it as a letterbox,
Yeah.
but that's ambitious.
Sometimes
It's a
I roll
scroll
up.
hole.
Yeah. Sometimes I roll up pieces of paper, and she can't read them though, so it's just filled with pieces
Yeah,
of
did
paper.
you know I'm a
It's too
drummer?
dark.
I can't read.
Well, it's too dark in there. There's
It's
no
dark
light.
as well, but it's the reason it's dark is because I can't read, and I'm a drummer that's kept in the corner of the attic. And I legitimately just panicked because it actually is dark in here, and my hair just fell down my arm, and I thought it was some spider bullshit, and I panicked. So
Yeah,
there we go.
I know it's legitimately dark. You're in a weird corner of the attic. Don't break the.
It ain't even inaccurate.
story.
Let's be real. Like.
So yeah, Lastel, go give them a listen. I hope you liked what I played here.
I think they're gonna I could really see that going.
Taking
places.
off, right?
Yeah. It's the again, not so much my kettle of fish, but it totally is what's about at the moment.
Yeah,
it's what people like. I'm on board.
Sounds profesh as well.
I see. Yeah, it sounds very professional for a pretty small band. Like,
I mean, they only have 1,200 likes on Facebook.
they deserve more than that.
Yeah.
And I'm actually genuinely surprised they don't have more than that. Sorry, they're a pretty recent startup though, aren't they?
Yeah, only a year old.
There we go. That'll be why. Because that much in a year is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope they know that.
Yeah, I mean, also I can't get across how nice they are. They were really, really nice and supportive.
That's always nice.
That's much more important to me. And I've friended the Adam on Facebook, and he friended me back. So
the
that's
frontman vocalist.
yeah.
Shall we say?
So that's a nice thing.
What was the sort of environment like when they were playing? Like, what's the crowd like? What's going on?
If you
It's
can
good.
imagine a mixture of people wanting to headbang mosh pit and also get their phones out and do that slow.
Oh, that's slow with the phone light, like
Yeah.
people used to do with lighters back in the day.
I am pretty sure if they'd organised it well, they could have had people in the back who didn't want to mosh doing that, and then people in the front like me just beating each other up.
Yeah.
Also, really interesting performance style. Adam got into the crowd to perform.
I like that when singers do that. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
And still with a wire, so it was
That's ambitious.
even cooler.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta trust that no one's gonna fuck your day up.
Yeah. So, and I've only mentioned Adam really because he's the person who spoke to me the most. Everyone else was really nice though.
Yeah, I will say none of them particularly, nothing jumped out at me as anyone stood out more than each other, but it kind of just feels nice, like they're this whole unit, everyone's contributing equally. It's not like, sometimes it's very our guitarist is our linchpin or
Yes,
whatever, and it's
yeah,
not like
totally.
that. It doesn't feel like that anyway.
I should mention as well that they do have a backing vocalist who is incredible. He did some singing at the gig on his own, and he was ridiculously good. So, I can't remember his name.
Hardcore respects.
Yeah, great stuff, great band. Go listen to him, or don't. But if you don't, go listen to Jinjer or Gojira, whoever.
And if you don't listen to any of them, then Matt's gonna come to your house in the night and kill you. So.
Nah, I don't care enough. Literally don't care about anything that much.
Ugh, fine, I'll do it.
Okay. Well, she'll have to break out of that fucking box she's in at some point.
I mean, this could take some time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Couple of years. All right. What are we doing next week?
We haven't planned that far ahead.
All right. Well, it'll be a surprise to us as much as you guys.
Oh, fuck.
So we will see you in 2 weeks, everybody. Bye.
Shit. Bye.